This is the best video game in every genre. Let's get into it, man.
Genres. They exist in everything movies, music, and even video games. And there are a lot of video game genres. In today's video, I'm taking some of the most popular genres and subgenres and talking about my favorite video games in each of these genres, and what I think the best ones are out of all the games that I've played. Make sure to subscribe and let's get straight into it. The first category I'll be going over is puzzle games, identified by having clear and unique
Yes,
puzzles
puzzle
in order to
games.
make progress within the game. Puzzle games actually have a very wide range since puzzle really is just one genre a game can follow, and many
Poppy's
follow
playtime, bro.
multiple. But
Poppy's
my
playtime.
top
Poppy's
games
playtime.
for the
Poppy's
puzzle
playtime.
genre are going to be Portal.
No, I'm kidding. Do people even actually like the puzzles in Poppy's playtime? Every time I see people like doing them, they always seem very annoyed.
Portal 2, and Subliminal, as these are like the only puzzle games I've ever played, so honestly, I'm not well enough equipped to talk about this specific category. Now, I'm sure all these picks are pretty obvious, and as a whole, Portal 2 is going to be taking the win in this category. I do actually
Yep.
prefer the main story of Portal 1, but Portal 2 has multiplayer, and it's always so stupid and funny with friends that I have to choose it over the first game. As for Subliminal, there's not really a whole lot that I can say. It's a puzzle game with unique mechanics, and I like them. Multiplayer survival games are a pretty popular genre. We've got a few very popular games
Mm, okay. I'm, uh, I'm gonna
in
need
here like
YouTube to
Minecraft and
cooperate.
Terraria, and even Rust falls into this category. Whether or not you like Rust is up to you, but that's not going to be in my top picks for this list. I
I've
will
never
be
played
ignoring
Rust
zombie
or seen
games in this
anybody play
category as
Rust.
well because I'm going to be separating those for, a completely different genre category. And while I do love most of these games, they just can't be my favorite in the genre because my favorite multiplayer survival game is going to be Don't Starve Together. I picked this for a combination of
Never heard of
reasons.
this
First
one.
of all, I like my games relatively difficult, which I think you guys will be able to see throughout this list, and I think that this game is easily harder than Minecraft or Terraria, or even other more niche games in this category. But I also really like the universe of the constant in Don't Starve Together. The game has a lot of very rich lore, and it's actually not even completed yet, as the game still gets updates from Clay. If you've never played Don't Starve Together, I would highly recommend it though, and I'm trying to avoid spoilers for most games that I'm mentioning on this list, especially the ones that you may have not played like Don't Starve Together, but I would recommend this game highly. Metroidvania games are one of my all-time favorite genres. I love them dearly, and I've been playing games in this
What
genre for a long
is
time. Think of games like
Metroid? Oh, is this just the Metroid games though? This is a whole genre? Damn, I didn't know Seamus was like
the
that.
original Super Metroid, Hollow Knight, Castlevania, two of these which the genre is named after. Obviously Metroid and Hollow Knight. Now some of you may be expecting Hollow Knight to be my favorite in this category, but actually it's not for one reason. I haven't beaten it yet. Don't worry, I'll make a video on that soon. And I also stream Hollow Knight live on Twitch, so you guys can come watch my first playthrough there. Now, my favorite game in the Metroidvania category is going to be Metroid Dread. This game came out on October 8th of 2021, and it's genuinely one of my favorite games ever. It's currently within my top 10 favorite games, which I'll give you guys a quick list at the end of this
It
video,
looks
but
cool.
I love Metroid Dread. The atmosphere is amazing, the Emmy robots really make you feel helpless for most of the game until you can kill them, and even then there's always another one right around the corner that you won't be able to fight back against. The bosses are really fun and challenging without feeling unfair, and this entire game is easily one of the best Nintendo releases in the last decade, and is easily one of my favorite games of all time, especially within this category. Next up is going to be platformer games, and honestly, I don't actually play too many platformers, so this wasn't that big of a contention point. I also haven't beaten Celeste yet, so that's another factor for why it's
Mario
not
clears
here, but
platformers
this
though.
is probably going to
Like,
Mario Odyssey. I don't even know how many hours I've
okay.
spent on Mario Odyssey just trying to find those dumb
I
little
mean, Mario Odyssey was a good game. I don't know if this is like people's favorite game, but yeah, Mario Odyssey, fair.
ones that don't even
Damn.
contribute to the game anymore after you've hit like 300. But I 100% this game and I couldn't tell you why. It's just really fun. Like, really fun. Because, this game is kind of an easy answer, I'll also give you guys my second pick, being Rayman Origins. I know Rayman Legends is usually the more popular pick, and maybe I'm a bit clouded by nostalgia and nymph thighs, but I love Rayman Origins. And I recently replayed it, and it still holds up just as well as it did 14 years ago. And I think Rayman Origins is harder than Legends without feeling unfair, and I love that difficulty. So this game is amazing, and I want a new one on par with it in terms of difficulty, platforming, and women of Rayman Origins. Now, I'm also sorry to add an edit edit here, but I literally recorded this whole video and then just somehow remembered that Super Mario Sunshine is literally my favorite platformer game of all time. So now this section is a mess and has 3 games in it. I don't even know how I forgot because Mario Sunshine was so important to me. I used to play it every
Okay,
single day.
wait, hold
I
on.
100%
Let's look at the
did 3
categories.
save slots, and
I don't know. I'm not like crazy into platformers. I've played a couple Mario games. RPGs, yeah, I might know a couple of these. Zombies, parkour, FPS. Yeah, YouTube is so lag. I'm reloading the page. Yeah, let's get back. But yeah, zombies, parkour, FPS, racing, fighting, and yeah, okay.
important to me. I used to play it every single day. I 100% did 3 save slots, and I speedran the game before speedrun.com even existed. I was learning glitches and shortcuts before they even got leaked on YouTube. I don't know how my brain repressed this, but Super Mario Sunshine is genuinely my favorite platformer game, and yeah, that's not really any more that can be said about it. Sorry about that. Roguelike games are a very hot point of contention. Every single person in the world who
The best video. I mean, like he framed it like it was the best video game in every genre. But this is just the list of basically which games he likes in each genre. It's cool though. Yo, YouTube, I'm gonna need you to like chill on stop.
plays roguelike games is an elitist to their most desired game. Risk of Rain 2, Enter the Gungeon, Dead Cells, Slay the Spire, The Binding of Isaac, Balatro, Hades, Nubby's Number Factory. There are so many good roguelike games, but my absolute favorite has to
I'm so confused. Isn't roguelike at the end? Okay, or that's Souls like. Oh, he forgot to put a divider for roguelike. Okay, well,
be Nubby's Number Factory. Just kidding.
no
It's The
idea what that
Binding of
is.
Isaac. Now, while I love all
Okay,
of the previously mentioned games, The Binding of
I've only
Isaac
heard
as
of
a game plays
Balatro.
very differently from most roguelikes in the skills that you learn while playing the game. While most of them are more traditional bullet hells where dodging is super important and your skill is determined by the movement and mechanical skill that you possess, The Binding of Isaac's most important skill isn't really mechanical, it's more mental. The Binding of Isaac is the only game on this list in which your most important ability is the capability to make your run stronger with the game knowledge that you have and the items that you're given. Nothing feels better than doubling 8 items in a secret room to reroll them all into the best items in the game, and rolling through the rest of your run with ease because you were smart enough to leverage what you had at your disposal. And this is what I love about The Binding of Isaac. But it is a love-hate relationship because unlike the rest of these games, here's a list of things that I hate about The Binding of Isaac. No other game is as infuriating as The Binding of Isaac, but it just makes those highs that much better. This game is an abusive partner, and I live for it. RPG games have existed for
There we
literally longer
go.
than video games, which is why I'm separating
No.
RPG into a couple of categories, being action RPGs, so modern day RPG games like Cyberpunk, which I'll cover after this,
Yep.
and traditional RPGs, which are generally turn-based fighting games.
I'm low-key torn because I don't even know like what RPG I would put as the best. Because I saw the Undertale and I felt it, bro. Immediately, I'm like, bro, Undertale's the one.
And you know,
We'll see.
this video is on video games, so I'm not going to be covering tabletop simulators, right? Anyway, my top picks for traditional RPG games are going to be Undertale, Fear and Hunger 2 Termina, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 6. I know everyone loves
Baldur's
7,
Gate.
but if I'm being honest, I think 6 is better. I love 7, and the remake is awesome, but the remake doesn't count because it's not the same as a traditional RPG, and I still like 6 more than 7. And then Princess Maker 2, which is probably actually like top 3 on this entire list. Look, you probably haven't heard of it, but it's actually a really detailed RPG where you have a daughter and you want to make her a princess, so you train her in various things, and it's actually really hard. You probably won't be able to beat it in your first few tries. Sorry. Regardless, with all that talking, my favorite of all of these is going to be the first Fear and Hunger game. Now, trigger warning
First
if you
Fear
plan
and
on playing
Hunger.
this game, the following themes are very heavy within Fear and Hunger 1. Now, I won't be going over them, but the second game has much less of this. Fear and Hunger 1 is my favorite RPG game ever, and has been ever since I found out about it. It's so rich in lore and story, and it's all so interesting, I became obsessed with the Fear and Hunger 1 and 2
I
lore
see,
for like a
like,
month straight.
it's funny because he's also like playing Undertale in the back, like Undertale robbed, but whatever, man.
I wanted to, I could recite literally all of it right now, word for word, completely and perfectly without a script. This game does a lot of things right in its gameplay. First of all, it teaches the player in a very harsh way, but a very effective one, killing you off for small mistakes, but ensuring you probably won't make them again. A good example of this is how fighting in this game isn't rewarding. You don't have an EXP bar and you don't get stronger from every encounter. Running from enemies is usually your best option, and once you get injured or killed, you stay injured or killed. The game's atmosphere is amazing with great sound design. It's a great horror experience, always keeping you on the edge, and then things like the Crow Mauler keep you alert and ready for attack. The game is unfair. Let me be real with that. Your fate will often depend on a coin flip. You can't even save your
Hmm.
game without a coin flip, otherwise you might just get kidnapped or disemboweled or ripped apart or just, killed. But it is just so intriguing that if you play it enough, you'll probably just get sucked into it, right? And the second game, while I do like it, has much less interesting story elements simply because the first game builds upon the lore so much that the second game can't do too much but add on to it. Now, the second game is also a bit less of a horror game. They both are, but I think the first game is just a lot more tense and scary, especially if you've already played the first one. Regardless, I love both and can't wait for the third one to release. I'm purposely avoiding spoilers for, obvious reasons and for those of you who might want to try out these games, but if you do, I very highly recommend them. After quite a long RPG section is the action RPG section. My
Okay.
top picks for action RPG games are going to be Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout New Vegas, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and really any Monster Hunter game you pick, probably Wilds.
Yeah, see, now he's got me fired up, bro. Monster Hunter is peak. Monster Hunter is peak. Monster Hunter is peak. Monster Hunter is peak, bro. Monster Hunter clears. It does. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy fans. I know y'all got a lot of diehard fans, but Monster Hunter clears, bro.
Though. Now, these games are kind of hard to compare because they're all amazing at different things. If you want good FPS combat, play Cyberpunk, definitely. If you want the best writing and freedom of choice possible, play Fallout New Vegas. If you've never played it, you can do pretty much anything in that game. Kill whoever you want. Like, you could be doing a quest and kill the guy that gives you the quest, and it leads into a different quest. You could just kill the guy that gives you that quest. I'm being so serious. You have infinite freedom in this game, and it's really cool. If you like Big Sword, play Final Fantasy or Monster Hunter. Now, these games, while being of similar genres,
If
are
you like
quite
Big Sword, play
incomparable,
Monster
but they
Hunter.
all do different things right. My top pick, however, is going to be Cyberpunk 2077. This game had a pretty rocky start on release, and I only played it fairly recently, having beaten it multiple times already after starting it in January. And now I have maxed out Cyberware and Guns on the hardest difficulty, because I just did literally everything, except I don't use ARMS.
Yeah. I mean, I've only really played Monster Hunter out of these games, and I'll admit that Monster Hunter can be frustrating because, like, bro, you got to devote half an hour, 40 minutes to hunting a single monster, and then imagine you fail, and then you have to restart, you have to track it, and then hunt it. It's so long and tedious, but it's really not even that hard.
Cyberware. I don't know why, I just don't like them. The game as a whole, though, is great. The story is great, the characters are likable and fun, the endings are. I can't even say anything about the endings or how they'll probably make you feel, because I think that's already spoiler territory. But if you haven't played this game and its DLC, I'd highly recommend both. And make sure you leave Hanako at Embers for approximately 340 hours of time before beating the game. I don't know how to title this
Zombie
category
games.
other than zombie games. Just games with zombies in them. And I know their actual genres vary wildly when comparing things like Dying Light and Project Zomboid, which are both zombie games, but I don't care, okay? Zombies are the main selling point, so I'll compare these games that are not at all similar to each other. Anyway, my top picks for zombie games are Dying Light 1, Project Zomboid, Left 4 Dead 2, Resident Evil 2, and Plants vs. Zombies 2. Now, all these games are very different.
Oh,
Reading
bro, come on. PFZ, PFZ, PFZ. Do y'all remember that one Plants vs Zombie game that was kind of it was an FPS, right? Like they had an FPS Plants vs Zombies. That game was so tough. If I'm being honest, I watched Dan TDM play when I was younger, but that was so tough.
this script makes me realize I should not be comparing them, but I will anyway. I do want to go through them all and what they're good for, though. First of all, Dying Light. This game looks amazing despite being 10 years old. It honestly looks better than its sequel. And I
That's a
know Dying
10-year-old
Light 2
game.
gets a bit of hate already, but I just don't like it nearly as much as the first
Wait,
game. Dying Light's
when did
movement
this video
feels
come out? A month
realistic,
ago,
while
bro. 10 years ago was 2015. Okay, never mind. Were our expectations that low in 2015? 2015 was a good year for
Dying
games.
Light 2 feels a bit too floaty, and the graphics are kind of cartoony and weird. They also just kind of removed the fear factor brought along by nighttime. In Dying Light 1, you were scared of the night knowing volatiles were swarming. Now the crowds in Dying Light 2 are a bit more sparse and dumb. I hope the third game is good though, since they're bringing Crane back. The first game really did capture the movement and parkour aspects perfectly, and I loved running around in that game just drop kicking zombies off roofs. Next up is Project Zomboid, which really makes you feel like you're in a zombie apocalypse. When playing this game, you'll probably feel helpless, and you can actually really experience the collapse of civilization caused by the apocalypse. This game does an amazing job of making you feel like you're really there, and it truly is a work of art. Left 4 Dead 2 is just a lot of fun. I like shooting zombies with friends and hearing my friend's microphone peak as he starts getting charged and jumped by 560 zombies while reloading and he has no more ammo left. It's just a lot of fun. Resident Evil 2 is a great single-player survival experience. There's also Leon Kennedy, which is either the best or the worst part of the game at the same time, depending on who you are, and if you know why, then you obviously know why. And then Plants vs. Zombies 2 is a great game that I still play on my phone when I'm bored. I like the strategy, I like the plants. I just don't like the consultant zombie. She sucks. As a whole though, I'd have to pick Dying Light 1. I just love parkour. I
Yeah, this
really
game
just
looks
like
tough.
parkour in any game with
It does look
parkour in
very
it.
good.
It's already moving up a few spots for me if it's done well, and that's just the most fun part of Dying Light. Which brings us into the next category. Parkour video games are some of my favorites to play while listening to music and doing nothing else. My top games are going to be Mirror's Edge 1, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and Parkour Reborn on Roblox. And because Dying Light took the last category, it won't be here.
We got a
Mirror's Edge 1 and
Roblox
2 have
game
a
on
few
here.
key
Okay.
differences. Mirror's Edge 1 is a bit more
See,
freeform, but
never in my
defaults
life
showing
did
you
I ever think Roblox would ever make it into a top game for any genre, but hey, here we
less
are.
routes, giving you more creativity over where you want to go when doing
Yeah, when it's not one of those like dumb, bro, you know those front page Roblox games, those dumb cash grabs where it's all like repetitive gameplay, bro. Grow a garden, I should slap you right now, bro. Grow a garden, block streets, but Roblox got some gems.
parkour stuff, which is better in its favor in comparison to the second game. The second game in return has way better combat mechanics, allowing you to keep running and fighting and doing a whole lot of cool shit you couldn't do in the first game, and having new enemy variants, and they're all fun and unique to fight. They also removed the guns from the second game, which was an improvement because they sucked in the first game. As for Parkour Reborn on Roblox, I find myself playing this game quite a lot because there isn't any story to it. It's like $3 in Robux, and you can just run around and learn new skills and tech and get better at parkour. It's a whole lot of fun. I
It's
was
a paid
introduced to
game.
it by my
Okay,
fans
makes
from the main
sense.
channel who told me about it
It
because I
looks
liked its
pretty good.
predecessor being Parkour Legacy. As a whole, Mirror's Edge Catalyst will be winning this category though. Mirror's Edge 1 was amazing and the story of the second game kind of sucked because it didn't even match the first game, it matched the comic book, but the movement is really all I'm playing these games for nowadays, and that goes to Mirror's Edge Catalyst, even if I usually just play the Roblox game because it's more easily accessible. My favorite FPS game is not going
FPS.
to be anything near Call of Duty. My top picks for FPS games are going to be Ultra Kill, Rainbow Six Siege. By the way, I'm Diamond hitting champ this season, not to flex or anything. Ladies, you looking for a champ carry?
Marvel Rivals. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
Counter-Strike 2 and Team Fortress 2. Now, I have a
Oh,
lot of
damn,
hours on
no
most of these
Marvel
games,
Rivals or
and
Fortnite.
FPS is my most played genre. I've got 2,000 on TF2, 1,500 on Rainbow Six, and I've got about 200 on Ultra Kill, which is a lot considering the fact that the major updates are a yearly thing now. Now, while I love Ultra Kill, it won't be winning this category, because when I play an FPS game, I like knowing I'm a better human being than the people I'm killing in-game, and Ultra Kill is single player, so I can't enjoy trash-talking people, which is exactly why Rainbow Six is going to be the winner for my FPS category. This is the most technical FPS game, and I love technical. The more advanced something is, the better. I want to be good at it, and I love being good at R6. I love this game even
I think we found our sweat.
when I'm screaming at my Ash players for running through Oregon Bunker without destroying the mirror watching it. It is still super satisfying to get kills in this game, and it's a whole lot of fun when you're not angry. Keyword being when. I'm not gonna lie, the only racing game I play is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's for a reason.
Racing. Okay. Well, I've played quite a few racing games. I played some of the F1 games. Forza Horizon. I don't know if Mario Kart is the best in racing, but this guy said he's only played 8 Deluxe, so fair enough.
It's not only the most fun, but it is technically the most advanced racing game out right now. There are not shroomless shortcuts like the Dragon Driftway cut in Forza. This is an easy win here. I just love Mario Kart.
Bro.
I really can't say anything else about this category. Fighting games. I actually do play a lot of these, but they kind of vary a lot since fighting
Beautiful.
games are quite a mixed bag. But my top picks for this are going to be Gang Beasts, For Honor, Sifu, and Tekken 8.
Okay, Gang Beast is something else,
Those last
but
three games are probably some of the most technical fighting games, and this kind of really shows my love for difficulty. For Honor is the best PvP pairing based combat
For
I've
Honor
ever
looks
played,
amazing.
and although I don't play it a lot anymore, I loved this game, and I mained Lawbringer 8 years ago, and I hit like the max rep on like 6 characters. I used to play this a lot. It's just a whole lot of fun if you like parry-based combat and like technical combat as a whole. Sifu is also quite technically advanced, being parry and dodge-based, and it's one of my favorite PvE fighting games. It's also hard. I sound like a broken record, but difficulty is fun for me, and it feels satisfying to overcome. I don't understand
Difficulty is
people that
fun
only like easy
until
difficulty.
you're spending 9 hours trying to beat Mesmer and you're up till 3 a.m. and you still can't beat him because you accidentally mistimed your roll on that stupid move where he spams the attack, right? He keeps going, keeps stabbing you, and then he starts swinging it around, puts it into the ground. You mistime the last dodge, even though you basically you dodge the rest perfectly. That's his waterfall dance. You dodge the rest perfectly. He stabs into the ground. You mistime it by a fraction of a second, and you roll into him right to get a hit after it, and then all the spikes come out of the ground, all the spears come out of the ground, and you lose 80% of your health because there's not a single talisman in the game. They nerfed that one. They nerfed the elemental damage talisman, so there's nothing that can save you from Mesmer, bro.
Games. My only gripe with this game is that the next project the developers are working on after Absolver and Sifu, two good fighting games, is a soccer game. Really? You guys are gonna make two of my favorite fighting games ever? I didn't put Absolver on here because it's a little bit outdated and nobody plays it. But you're gonna go from two really good fighter games into a soccer game? That's insane. And then there's Gang Beasts. This is such a stupid little party game. I
This
cannot
is a fun
fathom the
game.
type of insufferable person who can't find at least a little bit of enjoyment in it just for how dumb and funny it is to play with friends.
Yo, he's taking me!
Gang Beasts is a lot of fun, but my number one pick is going to be Sifu. This game
Fair
is just
enough.
great. I don't want to spoil it, but I would highly recommend this game. One of my all-time favorites. Indie games
Indie
technically aren't a
games.
specific category either, but there are a lot of good indie games. From the ones I've played, my top picks are Stardew Valley, Ultra Kill, Terraria,
Oh,
Undertale, and Disco
Stardew
Elysium.
Valley. Okay, Undertale better finally win a category. I'm looking at you, bro. I better hear Undertale is the
Which I
best
will
for this
not be
genre.
paying money for, and will instead pirate because the devs of that game don't get a cent from it anymore because of Greedy Corps. Now, I've got some bad news for the big Terraria fans. I love Terraria, and I've played quite a bit of it. I also love all the games I've mentioned, and out of all of these, Stardew Valley is the one I've played the most, both with and without mods. But out of all of these games, my favorite is going to be Ultra Kill. It's one of the most unique FPS games I've ever played, with amazing mechanics all around, and the style meter is one of the best ways I've seen to promote varying gameplay styles, even though sometimes it's just shotgun projectile spam. The coins are fun to use, and discovering combos like rail coining and coin adding and stuff like that is fun. The tech is fun, and it all feels great to pull off in actual levels. And the game is hard, which I love. I would genuinely recommend starting this game on the hardest difficulty you can, because you'll probably wish it took longer to beat once you're caught up on it. And the final category I wanted to cover were Souls-like games. There are actually two different categories for Souls-likes, which is Souls-like and Soulsborne. For those of you who don't know, Soulsborne is any game made by FromSoft, while Souls-like is any game not made by FromSoft, which is made to replicate their style. Good thing this will be easy, because I've never played a non-FromSoft Souls-like game.
Yeah,
Yes, I know about Liza P. I have not played it, though. And since this is probably
the
pretty
Liza P is
obvious for
great,
people who know
but
me from my streams and my main channel, instead of just telling you what my favorite Soulsborne game is, I'll give you guys a ranking for every Soulsborne game since I've played them all. 7 Demon Souls, 6 Dark Souls 2, 5 Dark Souls 1, 4 Dark Souls 3, 3 Elden Ring, 2 Bloodborne, and 1 Sekiro, which is my all-time favorite Souls game. It's the only parry-based Souls-like, and it's fast-paced and awesome, and genuinely the best game they ever made, and it was a side project that won Game of the Year.
alright, so Sekiro wins this category. Like, I'm gonna play Sekiro eventually, but that was great. The best video game in every genre. That was Riacon Live. I think that's his name, but go check him out. I'll catch you on the next one, man.